When I was a kid, we used to play this game called Barrel of Monkeys. Now, I have to say that it's rather a simple game, but it's minutes of fun. Just minutes. I think the phrase, more fun than a barrel of monkeys, is appropriate because almost any game is more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Still, we played with them as a child growing up and would hook them all together. If you remember, these little barrel of monkeys have little hooked arms, and you'd string them all together. And as I was thinking about my homily today, I thought about these barrel of monkeys because I think what the saints do is very similar. As people of faith, as people in this Christian faith, I think we constantly have one hand reaching up to our saints, living and deceased. Those people who are our role models of holiness, we reach up to them and grab hold of them so that they can hook us, link us to heaven, to Christ. But we also have this other arm that reaches down because we know that there are others who look up to us, people who are reaching out to us so that we can give them a hand and connect them to Christ and to heaven. And that's a pretty heady responsibility for us. This really hit home for me last week after the 5:30 Mass. One of the students at St. Pat's came up to me after Mass and said, our teacher assigned us to talk about holiness and someone we knew who we thought was holy. And I thought, oh, that's great. And she said, I chose you. And you know how you can be flattered and embarrassed at the same time? I was absolutely touched. My heart was really touched. It was just the nicest thing. But at the same time, I'm thinking, wow, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Ask my wife. Ask my students. Ask my friends and coworkers. The thing is, though, God does not ask us to be perfect. There was no saint, other than maybe Mary, who was perfect. But they always tried to be the best version of themselves they could be. And when they failed, when they fell, they got back up again, asked for forgiveness, and they tried again. They stood up one more time than they fell. And that's what makes a person a saint. So the saints that I reach up to, my mom and dad, not perfect people, but holy people. Pope Francis, not a perfect person, but a role model for me, someone holy. Blessed Teresa of Calcutta, holy. Even when she struggled in her faith, holy. Constantly striving for God. So I reach out to those people and I do the best I can to hang on. And in turn, I reach out a hand, and as imperfect as I am, I reach out to those who also can look to me. Now, there's a responsibility with that, not to do things that cause harm or cause pain, but to be the best I can. Now, I wanted to say something to this young person that, I can't really say all the time face to face, so I'll kind of say it sideways. I think a lot of times it's the kids who are our saints. It's more likely that she is uniting me to Christ than I'm uniting her to Christ. She doesn't realize that. And I know sometimes that our kids can be kind of little monkeys themselves, even dressed up for Halloween as little monkeys. They can be kind of out of control at times, and at the end of summer break, you're so glad when they go back to school. But honestly, who is closer to God than a child? No one. They are so close to God that those beatitudes apply most appropriately to them. They have attitudes of being and joy that sometimes we wish we could slide back into. An innocence of faith that some of us have maybe lost a bit of. So I wanted to say to this young woman, this child, that she is my saint as much as I try to be her saint. And maybe instead of hooking together as these little monkeys do, somehow it can be like this. It twists and turns, because at times we get to be the saint for someone, and at other times in our moments, they get to be the saint for us. That's what church is all about. For all of us to try to link up with those people around us that we love and care about, stretching from earth to heaven, from heaven to earth. Truth be told, we're all sinners and we're all saints. We're all in need of one hand toward heaven and one hand toward earth. Because after all, truth be told, church is more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Because it's filled with saints who know they're sinners. So God bless you on your feast day, St. Patrick. God bless you on your holy day. And always go church.